Hi everyone, so we're doing a reading on Diddy today, and he is obviously still held. If you've not caught part one and you're new to the channel but not subscribed and you enjoy the content, why not subscribe? Why not support the channel? Why not like, comment on the videos you're liking? It also helps ensure that I put my energy towards the videos you enjoy. Part one, I covered a lot, and you will know that I am clearly 102% sure that Diddy is not the top people in this, and this is why I say justice will not be served. But he's being used as the main bait, but he's not the master of it. He is not going to be snitching on the higher elites, okay? When I say one higher up, I'm talking about one that could be very, very high up. You might see CEOs and elites, but I am talking about higher leaders, possibly politicians. And this is where they're involved in like rings of societies that could be with trafficking. And he's just like a middleman, like for example, for his freak-offs that they could attend, there's like prostitution involved, right? But he's not like the ringmaster of actually trafficking all different genders and levels and stuff. It's just kind of like he'll only be involved where those people that want to be involved in that kind of thing get sent, so it would be trafficked, to his parties from wherever. And this happens also, this trafficking is happening in other countries where there's also poverty. So he is by far, in terms of like the freak-offs, before you come at me, there is wrongdoing in that, because I think some people might be forced. They might be like, this is a great idea, and then they're forced to continue to go when they can't keep going after like an hour or two. And then obviously there's threats for them to come back. But at the same time, just think logically, this guy can get loads and loads of people. Why is he going to be hooked on chasing always one or two people to continue to attend, right? So what I'm trying to say is, and since the first reading I did, which I did, and then the reading went up for Patreons and members, if you caught it, then it was the same video scheduled for subscribers. So it's probably, you know, a week old or something, or probably 5 days, 4 days old, and it depends when you see this, obviously, from when I state it. But I do fully believe in my prediction around that. Now, he is obviously in jail. I don't know if this is the same jail as like some of the other people that have been sent there. He's probably detoxing. He's probably worried about people poisoning his food, especially when they know he's in there, because inmates do the food, don't they? I wonder if they've got him speaking to someone. Maybe he decides to say that he needs a special diet or something because he's worried about food. But like, he's gone from the high-end luxury life to a jail. So imagine any normal person's life going to jail. You're like, oh crap, right? But imagine someone who's been on drugs and always on the go. You're kind of detoxing from that, and probably not having the right help. You might get an antipsychotic, and sometimes they're a bit worse, right? And you are coming down from that. You're in total also, what on earth am I in? And on top of that, and I'm not saying this to feel sorry, I'm trying to describe where he is right now. And what he's probably feeling is you're detoxing. And as you detox and you come to the reality, you're like, what on earth was I doing? Because those substances that also advocate to enhance such behaviors are, and as I say that, the candle brings out black smoke, are they advocate, basically, let's put the word advocate. And I think I do want to ask a question on the baby oil, right? Okay, so it was baby oil, because I think some people might say it would be double confirmation it was baby oil. What they said they found in terms of 1,000 bottles of baby oils is absolutely true. Because I feel like some people might say it was drugs or something like that, even though it was oil. And don't forget, like, you know, when you find these baby oils, like, it's kind of like, why did he have so much? I mean, if you saw the picture at the beginning, you walk through and you think, okay, they're not going to use that much. But when these people show that they have that much, you know, it's kind of like you're entering a store. It adds that luxury, doesn't it? There's an unlimited quantity, which is very interesting. Okay, so I just wanted to add that. Let me just ask another question. There's two cards here, but I'll take the top one. Yes, so, you know, there's a new kind of, I don't know if it's new, but I'm recently hearing from it, a new kind of GRUG. And if you're a Patreon member, don't forget to check your posts, because your questions on sensitive topics are to be on the next recording and the live. So, you know, you're missing out when you're not checking your things. But then you will see it when the recording occurs. Okay, so there is, and as I do this, my nose is itching. Not itching for it though. There is this color, okay, this color pink. Let's just call it Coca-Cola powder. One of the things that they were using, because I think it's a new thing. So he's probably waking up. Don't forget to, what do you call it? Don't forget to comment in the comment that if you want the continuation of this. I feel like there's a lot that I need to cover. Remember in the first part, I also said, think why he came back when he was in a place he could not be held. He could not be brought back 5 months later. Think about that. This is where it ties up with the elite and probably a middle person. And I'll pull cards on this, that he thought he could trust, but that elite knows that Diddy has something on him. So basically there was some kind of betrayal, okay? There was some kind of betrayal that the elite could not risk it. And so it was kind of like a deal that there would have been a third person involved. Like this is what I mean, like Diddy is not going to snitch on people that he can snitch on. And the police, as much as that you think they want him to, they don't. Because once you snitch on those elites, you're in a very difficult territory. And when you not snitch, sorry, the police will be in law enforcement, a very difficult territory, because they need to take action. So often the less they know about other people that are in power is better for them. Okay. So I really want to emphasize that, because you might think, well, there's no one. No, there is. And if you think Diddy's here the highest, you're very wrong, because he's not been like a ST ringleader, okay, for just the trafficking purposes and the money. No, the way he's been involved with that, or they say, you know, the way they're trying to indicating he's involved in that is only for like the prostitution choice. Okay, that's how that's involved. It's not actually involved in sending people across to different countries, getting them from different countries just to traffic for money and etc. No, and that's what I mean by that. So, but the things that I take seriously is kind of like obviously the physical, any mental, emotional that is happening. And I'm sorry, but a lot of Hollywood are involved in this, you know. And the other thing is, I mentioned in my latest couple of predictions, I said, and even last year I said, for this year there's going to be grand exposures around rings and big names and the fall of big names as well. Do check that out. I believe I did it in October or November, and I gave it a quarterly split of this year where big things would be happening. I didn't say, so in my predictions recently, I said Hollywood will not like totally be washed away or whatever. It won't be totally, but it will be cleansed, because people are not frightened to speak up like before. So this is why I hate these kind of things. As much as someone has done wrong, there's other people that have done wrong as well, and a lot more, you know. And it's kind of like they're using him as the bait, like I said, to crack. They will crack down on him as opposed to anyone else. And as much as they say they want to know everyone involved, etc., etc., they don't, because they're not going to be able to take some of these people down, and it's a very difficult territory for them to play in. You know, even to take someone down fully, at the back end there could be people that come after you, right? So you know, I mentioned this, I think it will come up. I do think there's going to be also other stuff about anti-money, maybe anti-money laundering. They could say fraud, but I think it's a bit more anti-money laundering, hiding how money is getting around. And this is not only Diddy, you know, even the politicians, and I'm even talking about the UK, when they say they're spending an amount on certain things, what they do is they spend amount, but a certain amount comes back to them, right? They come back to them, and that's why they say the country doesn't have enough funds, blah, 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 because they never fully dedicate those funds. There's always a circular, there's always this dark energy that comes back. So there is a betrayal, there is a corruption that was done against Diddy as well from someone else to cover their back. And this person is not necessarily it's like I said, I feel the freak offs are the least about this. It's more about the other things, you know, where people have not had choices, and there's been the A, there's been the ST, and that's where this higher elite is involved, as much as he might, or she, let's have got into that. And I think there's also, there's not just one, by the way, there's not just one. It's kind of like, there's kind of like, I'll give you this information, and the other one's like, okay, and this will protect you, like alleviate some of the things that will go down against you, that, you know, as a title, yes, you might have been involved in, but it's not to the extent of the weightiness of what a what do you call it? It's called a conviction is, that can fall under the conviction, but it was used against him instead. This is my psychic downloads before I get into the rest. There could also be a woman with the man as well, but I do think there might have been a third party middleman, and the person, they kind of like knew what he had against them, to hold them, so they acted because it was a heavy burden of worrying, like, how is this going to come out, etc. I do feel like some of the people that I've read their names on, they are sweating, ridiculously sweating. Check part 1 out. But this is kind of the things that have led up to his arrest, and that's why I say always think about it. Like, for example, now look at this chaos, right? It sounds serious, it is very serious, right? But I'll ask you another question. I asked a couple of questions in part 1 and they're still very relevant. I'll ask another question right now. Where is Biden? Where is Duck in terms of the security around him and what was going on with that guy and other things, and the insider job that I've predicted? What is happening around that? So as much as I say, when I say distraction, I don't mean that it's not weighty. It is, but there's so many more that he like this higher. There's all this before Diddy and some of this. It's insane how they use people as bait. I wonder if he's getting put on psycho meds. Is he getting offered show me any meds at the moment while he's detoxing, while he's in prison, to keep him, jail, sorry, to keep him sort of calm, you know, because of like, we saw that it was warranted for him to be in S-Watch. I didn't ask what card I want, hang on a sec. Told to take this. Okay. Yes, he is on some form of meds, and it's for the paranoia and the kind of, yeah, it's the paranoia and depression and calming him down while he finds himself in this new environment. Let's see if it's psychotic. It's not antipsychotic yet. It's not antipsychotic. Okay. So it's more probably anxiety. It's not necessarily as heavy as an antipsychotic. Anxiety, just a calmer, depression. Okay. I'll take the top. Yeah, I've got my card straight away. I was going to say I'll take the top card. Does he know that he's taking this? Has it been his choice? Yeah, he knows he's taking it, so he's not getting fed it. He's not getting fed it, basically. All right. Okay, so now I think we wanted to check in on some people. So let me just get that up. But yeah, wake up. Look at what might be happening in the background. If you didn't see my Mariah Carey reading, I mentioned that it wasn't her music contract agreement. So behind that brand, behind that studio, who is involved? What ring master could they be playing? That's where it's at. Now, something like that. So here with Diddy, who's he signed to? I know he has Bad Boy Records, but is he signed to the same one as Taylor Swift, etc.? So there is a film or CEO giant, studio giant involved here. And like I said, it's heavier when they can't take everyone down. The justice they're showing is to quieten the public, and he's not going to, if he snitches, it'll be snitching on like just little remarks about people around his same level or below, but not above him. He's not going to do that. So, you know, again, why did he return? Why didn't he burn all the evidence? Think about it, right? Let's see. He did have a bit of delusional. He was a bit delusional about being arrested again. Okay, so let me just see if this is because of that guy. And it is. Sorry, I shouldn't have put that back. You saw the Emperor, right? He got a bit delusional from this guy where that deal was, you know, and then the betrayal was again. And you can see what I mentioned. This is a higher up. We've got Diddy, who's probably here, right? He's not up there yet. Okay, so that's why he got a bit delusional about it. Okay, what's the other things? And I presume this is why no. It looks like they were still working on kind of the remaining things, but I think they gathered most of the evidence prior, which then I wonder why didn't they it seems like they've been working on this. They gathered most of the evidence prior. Why didn't they, if you ask me, why didn't they why didn't he get rid of it? It's because most of what was gathered was prior to actual now, and they've just been working on most of what they got now. I might do a separate reading on JayZ. Who would like a separate reading on JayZ? Okay, let's see Snoop Dogg. I had a question from a subscriber. Usually it'd be members, patrons, but this subscriber knows that they are very much appreciated on the channel. So Snoop Dogg, let me tell you what I think psychically. Snoop Dogg has been trying, and maybe he has, look, his energy is hidden, which is what I get. He's really been trying to be like a human advocate, a care advocate, animal advocate. I don't know what kind of advocate, like humanity. And I don't know if this is where I'm not really sure about it, the spiritual side. Is he really getting involved in the spiritual side of oneness with himself? That's what I'm getting as a download, right? But not to the extent of like becoming a guru. So has he been frightened, the past catching up with him? Two of Pentacles. We can see the moon. Yeah, there's a bit, hang on, I'll get the card. There's a bit about being a bit wary of his past catching up with him. And this being of a female that might speak on something that's been hidden. Okay, so I honestly don't think he is, he's involved with anything that they've mentioned around Diddy in terms of the current allegations. Now, it depends on other stuff, like the things in the background, money, etc., deals, blah, blah, blah. Yes, something like that. But in terms of what's been mentioned in terms of racketeering, ST, and freak offs, that kind of stuff, less. So is he going to go down? It won't be linked. I don't think it will be linked to Diddy. If he's questioned for that, they are just, he's not guilty to be associated with him on the things that he's currently convicted. So will he go down? I don't feel he will. I think it needs to be something that he could go down for, we don't know about yet, basically, if he does go down. Oh, he might go down, yeah. So there's something that, very strong cards, I mean, something might come to life after he passes, but also after someone else passes. But I don't believe it's to do with anyone at the moment. But what there is going to be, there is, like I said, there's going to be some manipulation as to why he should go down. And I don't think that is the actual truth, unless it's not linked to Diddy, okay? But there's going to be some manipulation. And I think some of this manipulation they're going to bring up, or it could be true, is the involvement of him in somebody who's already passed away that was famous, or we would recognize their name. Okay, so that might be rehashed there for him. Okay, which goes with the psychic download. I don't think it's to do with ST or the free cost. So now let's go on to the rest of the people, and I've lost track of my time. JayZ. We've got JayZ, William, Harry. I want to tap back into Cassie. Kim. I want to do, one second. I want to do Kim Porter as well. But for this one, let me just ask quickly in terms of Kim Porter. Her book that's suddenly come out, because I could see it like on a USB or notes in a journal, not something that's already formalized. So either they were formalizing it over the last 5 months to be ready, but I just find it a bit, I feel like something's going to come out on whether that was the true book of Kim Porter, or whether some elements of it were true and there was some added fabrications in that. And eventually they will say, you know, that wasn't the full book that was from Kim Porter. And whether they say here it is, or whether they say we have it, that's something else. But that's what I'm getting psychically. So let's just see. There she is. I think this was it. So it has been a long time. Told to look at the bottom of the deck. What exactly I was going to say. It's been a long time coming, and at the moment they feel that it's. Oh wow. Okay, so I've just seen something very different in the card. A lot of it is truth. A lot of it is a reflection. But there's some elements here that could be added for money. Okay. Just to generate more money, and it's all about the ending of her, especially when it comes to the ending of her life. And it's been a long time coming. It's been worked on, or it's been kept for a long time, and now it's being presented. She was clear in terms of what she's written in her book from her perspective of Kim Porter, of having like the money underneath her, of being a mother as well. But at the same time, there's something about the book that doesn't hone in fully for some reason. Okay, so I don't know who's a Leo, and it could be a child, okay? It could be one of their children. But basically, there's something about her passing in this, right? And I think she was really worried about one of her children, and I don't know if that's coming across in the book, but I'm getting it from her right now. There's one of her children she was a bit more worried about. Maybe they were a bit more sensitive. Maybe they were more attached to her. And I feel like this was someone between already by the time she passed, you know, could it be someone that they're in their early teens, like, you know, like 12 to early teens, whoever that is. And I feel like it's a son. If there isn't someone that reached that age, I do feel like it's a son that she, and a possible Leo in the top charts, that she feels is quite sensitive, and she's actually frightened for him. So she's navigated this message from her book. Okay, from my book question. Okay, let's go on to, hopefully we can fit in JayZ and Beyonce. I'm going to have to write the names in each part. Don't forget to give this a like if you like it. Okay, so I am getting, Beyonce's sweating. Beyonce is sweating. But let's see JayZ. And if you want a separate reading on JayZ, let me know, yeah. I just feel like they're trying to just take away all evidence that could tie them to anything to do with this, including, I don't know if P. Diddy had any restaurants or affiliations with restaurants. I'm really getting that even, where they could have attended parties and cameras and stuff like that. Okay, so how is JayZ feeling? Sorry about that, because I had to take an important call. It's actually a client. Okay, so all right, so here JayZ, so this comes out, right? There's something about past, again, I think, you know, some of these guys, oh, that's the other thing I want to say. These gangsters that are coming up and famous people, like they knew about these freak-offs, they knew about it. Not everyone took place. They all knew about it. And you're not going to tell me they don't have sex parties and, you know, these freak-offs as well. I want to tell you something else. When I say I want to tell you something else, it's not based on facts. Like, you guys can bring me the facts. It's psychically. It started off as like sex freak-offs parties, and then there was drugs, which keeps you going and going and going and going, and then you need the, what they said, the IV. I also feel like it got darker and darker, where, for example, injections were used in terms of BLOOD, like, you know, okay, let's exchange a bit of, you inject here, I inject here, and then we have sex or something like that. And it got darker and darker, and then now you probably call it ritual. Some people call it ritualistic, but that's how it transpired. You didn't have to go into that kind of end of it, but when you do take stuff like the things that they could be taken, including meth, you do end up doing that kind of stuff, right? And then you come out of it and you kind of like, So he's worried about past. He's especially worried about his past of like dark, overshadowing his image as JayZ. I've never liked his image. You know, there's certain times where I see a woman in him. It's really weird. I don't like his energy. That's why I say, do you want me to do a reading on whether he's going to go down? He's definitely worried about the ending, or someone who's already passed, or someone who could pass, right? And that bringing up past incidences that could tie him to this. I feel like he's a bit confused on how to ensure he's confused. He's a bit, yeah, look. He's really confused on how to get unshackled from every area that could be brought up against him. And I don't know why I'm getting this, but he also needs to be careful at some stage on his, it sounds weird because he's very powerful, on his own life, or someone surrounding him. Okay. Can you see how I'm saying they're all sweating? Here's a Virgo. Okay, so what is Beyonce? Is she a Virgo in top charts? I don't know, was he with a woman prior? There's some dark hidden secrets around a female, and I wonder if he has had kids with a female. But there's something, I don't know, is Beyonce a Virgo? Is Beyonce a Virgo? Can anyone tell me? I'll wait. I'm just joking. But yeah, he is past things that could come up that either work against him and Beyonce as a duo, there could be third party here. He's worried about different things that could come up, right? Okay, so let's check Beyonce. Remember, if you want a bit of a deeper read into JayZ, we can do that. I think also Diddy, they might start talking about Aaliyah again, the singer. I don't believe Diddy was involved in that, but that might bring up JayZ. So if you want me to include that in a reading as well, let me know. Let's have a look at Beyonce, and then we'll end this for this one. If you want part 3, make sure you let me know. Beyonce feels like her world is coming to an end. Just joking. I think I don't know what she's doing about the online things, okay, but she's kind of like working on making sure the online doesn't have anything that could pose a ending to her chapter. Not end to her chapter, end to her image, basically. You know what I mean? Here we go. Her image of this, I don't know, I guess some people see her like this. See her like, I'm getting told to pull which card, Spirit? I'm getting told to pull this one and the bottom card. Yeah. Oh, look. I knew 7 was important in JayZ's read. It's kind of like she's worried about her image being portrayed in a way, and also a false image that she's put up, all right? And so she's worried about, firstly, a different image being put out there, but there's also an image that she doesn't necessarily want to get out there. She might have indicated it in terms of like an ego, but she didn't do it to be kind of like, what can I say, in terms of now that image might be questioned as, oh, okay, she is part of the dark side and she's been hiding this so long and it's been masked for so long that we've not realized. There's definitely some ego involvement in terms of her image, and she's a bit, let's just clarify this Page of Cups. Yeah, she's definitely worried about her image, even her image as like, you know, Queen Bee, also the mother side of it. She's worried about this image that she portrays as also kind of like a loving person, a loving mother. You know, at one stage, she was seen as like this really grounded, humble, beautiful woman. I don't know if people still see her that way. Well, it's kind of like how in interviews when you watched her, how can she be so humble and loving? And that image is what she's also worried about getting lost in all this. Told to take this card, 7 of Pentacles, something she's been working on for a very, very long time. A lot of feminine energy in her energy. I was going to say the 5 of Wands. She feels like there's a bit of battle in terms of the you know, that her image as the mother to the outside world, and her as, you know, Queen Bee and the monies, etc. And also her image emotionally, or how she is as a person, and she's not in balance at the moment. She's feeling very conflicted. She's feeling very much out of balance, and I wonder if she's actually questioning what image have I been putting out there? Is it being reflected fully, or is this going to be changed? She really doesn't feel in harmony in her energy. Temperance. She's not. She's not. And I feel like there could be some questioning in terms of JayZ's any movement, action, something around JayZ that's been, she's not sure if it's been masked. There's something around JayZ here as well, finally. I get that could be she's not feeling in harmony about. She's like wondering if there's, wondering if there's could be some truth. So he could have said something to her around maybe someone's passing, or, you know, I don't know, he's been with someone before, he's got a baby. I don't know if any of this comes out, but there's something that's interesting. They're kind of like, I mean, he had her in the energy, she not so much until the end. It was all about her, which is interesting. It was all about her image. Do we have time for one more? Here's the next one. I really feel like she's trying to be very careful and cautious, you know, making sure nothing changes her image, and choices about things as well. But I think JayZ, there could be some evidence and making sure he gets out of it, but so is Beyonce. But they're a bit two different parallels here. Okay, so I am going to leave this here, and what I will do is I will continue. If you want a part 3, please do let me know. All right, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.